This is Matthew Bourne. I'm the director and choreographer of Sleeping Beauty. What's great about recreating a classical ballet is you've got this incredible score which is all written to dance to. Because Tchaikovsky and Petipa, who's the original choreographer, told their story through dance, it's easy then to find a slightly different story through dance, but using the emotion of that music that guides you all the way through it. We do the same piece of music at the beginning of Act 1 and Act 2 to represent the baby Aurora and then the grown-up Aurora. The baby is very naughty and, you know, it's sort of a real handful. And so is Aurora in a way. She's a sort of wild child. By using the same piece of music, I thought that would tie them together, but it's not the way it is in the ballet. My starting point of working with my designer, Lez Brotherston, who is the designer I've worked with on most of the shows that we do. And he will do a similar kind of research that I will do. He will look in and around the subject, and he likes history. You know, he likes a sense of history in pieces. So this piece really appealed to him, resulting in an enormous amount of costumes and wigs that we have for this show. Because it's not only the reality of those time periods, it's also fantasy. It gives Les a chance to really be inventive and creative with those costumes, and they're not referencing anything historical. Something I've always noticed with Lez's design is he loves to be true to history. It's a really good thing because it makes you understand why people held themselves in a certain way, because a corset or whatever it might be makes you sit upright, you know, and those sort of things. So they do affect the movement. When we first did the piece 10 years ago, there was a secret involved in our plot, which was the idea of vampires. Not to sort of trade in on things that were popular at the time. It had to do with me asking myself a question about the love story of the piece. So we set up the love story of Aurora and Leo. Now Leo is an invented character of ours. He's kind of her first love. When Aurora is cursed by Caraboss to sleep for 100 years, everyone knows that part of the story. I said, well, the question is, how can they be together in 100 years' time? By turning the Lilac Fairy, who's called Count Lilac in our version, into a vampire, he is able to give Leo the gift of eternal life. For me, that was a very romantic idea and perfect for this story, because it allows Leo to be there when she wakes up. One of the interesting ideas that Les and I came up with early on for the piece, there's always a sort of baby in a cot, and she's the main character in the piece. You know, she is the leading character in this story, Aurora. So I thought, it'd be great if we could give her a personality. So the idea of puppets came up. You know, could we represent Aurora with a puppet? I love to inject a bit of humour into the early part of a show, so people relax who may be coming to dance for the first time or thinking they're not going to get the story, and if they laugh, they're happy. For me, as a storyteller, it was about getting to know her. The story is about the power of love. It's about love across time. That's why I call it a Gothic romance, because the overriding feeling of the story is love. It's about how can two people be together despite everything.